this show, I can say, not sugarcoating it, not being positive, this show was awesome. It was excellent. I enjoyed it immensely. I'd almost, if I had to rate it, almost give it a perfect score. And I'm not even the target audience, so I loved it. I really enjoyed it. If I was 16 years old and I was younger and I was more the target audience, if I wasn't white, I think I would have enjoyed it even more so. So I can't say enough positive things. Now, it was coming of age, and I think it had all those classic, coming of age sweetness and teenage angst, but then they mixed it with some real violence and some real stuff. And I think that it was great. And there were some moments, there was this moment where someone's pulling a gun on someone else, and the guy's holding up his hands, and he's like, yeah, I pulled a gun on you earlier, but I didn't shoot. And the other guy's like, yeah, well, you should have. And again, it's this kind of goofy kid show, but they have those real moments that just kind of encapsulate the problem with revenge and preemptive violence and the cycle of violence. So it's just a fantastic show. Now, the music was great. I'm going to link one song in particular in the description. It's just a great song. It doesn't have a lot of views. I think it deserves way more views. It's a great song, and they used it in a great way. There were some great music moments on this show, and the writing, I thought it was a perfect blend of, in shows, oftentimes you see the kids and they're talking like adults because it's adults who are writing it. So even when they try to use the slang kids use, it just comes across as, no, this is how an adult would talk. Here, the kids were articulate and it was stylized. They were witty, but they were kids nonetheless. They sounded like how kids actually talk. The slang they used rang true. And they got a lot of the different slang. They used lit, fire, dip, fits, woke, guav, and many more, I can't remember. And also some Spanish slang, which was neat. And I learned a lot. I didn't know a lot of the different Spanish phrases they used. And the characterization was great. And I thought they formed such a believable, I don't know, it's not a duo, it's not a trio, it's whatever the four word is, group of friends that you found believable. So there's Monse. Now she's just awesome. She's just an awesome, great girl that's smart with a great personality, very moral, just really a great girl. Her only conflict and challenge is she's not like stereotypically one of the prettiest girls. The other girl in the show who's part of their group is more stereotypically beautiful than her, and she's in love with this guy who's probably going to cheat on her, as a bit of a philanderer, is also in a gang or kind of gang adjacent. So he's not really a great guy. He has a lot of flaws, but deep down you can tell he's a good guy, so you can't help but love him, and she can't help but love him. So that's her big challenge, is just, she's really awesome and great, but she's kind of in love with a guy who has some problems and some baggage. Then there's Cesar's, he's just very good looking, very charming, again, kind of a douche, kind of arrogant, but you just can't help but love the guy. And then Ruby is going to be your favorite character. He's just typical short, big talker, very smart, very neurotic, but again, probably the person you're gonna find yourself identifying with and just rooting for and really just falling in love with. And I won't get into spoilers about what happens at the end, but it's tough to watch. So the characterization was great, and I thought all the actors gave great performances, were so likable, so fun to watch. And it's interesting, I didn't know any of these actors. The only one I knew, there was one character who was a very minor character. He was a rival gang member. You only saw him very briefly. He was the star in this movie Kicks that wasn't a big movie. It was actually quite a good movie. I liked it a lot, and he was on The Shy. He was on the first episode. He's a character that seems to either get shot a lot or get guns pointed at him a lot. Now, he's the only one I knew. Everyone else, totally unknown actors, but I thought they did a great job. I really hope that this takes off and we see them in more stuff. And last thing I'll say, like I say, this is a bit of a kid's show, but I thought they did a great job sprinkling in some stuff about racism and feminism that I honestly thought was great and was really something that could actually change people's minds a bit and make people a bit better people. So one scene in particular, they're out at a party and they see this white guy and he's dressed up as a gangbanger and he's got the tattoo under his eye and the outfit. And for me, it just did such, as you're watching it, you just see how ridiculous he looks, and immediately you cringe and you realize what's shitty about it, because, and why, it's because you see you've kind of identified with these kids, with this trio, with one of them, you've identified with them. So then when you see them, you're seeing them through this kind of altered perspective, and you're like, wow, I don't want to be seen like that. And you're able to step outside yourself a bit, and you're able to kind of see through other people's eyes, and you say, well, I really don't want anybody anybody, especially, not especially, I don't want anybody, and I don't want someone like these kids, I don't want them to look at me like that. I never want to be looked at that way. So I find that it just works so much better than, different kinds of advertisement. There was that it's a culture, not a costume advertisement campaign. And I just feel like a campaign like that, it was largely mocked. I don't think it really won anyone over to it. I think it largely just maybe people who already agreed like the campaign. It was well intentioned, but I don't think it really did any amount of good. Versus a show like this, I think you could watch it and really someone could watch it and maybe grudgingly be like, yeah, that looks shitty, I don't want to act like that. So I think this could actually change minds. So awesome show, really entertaining, and could actually maybe do some good. So what more can you ask for?